is the environment around you. You can take a fish out of water and give it a beautiful mansion and a Bentley and all the money in the world, but it will die. One of my favorite experiences, which was my first day of monk school, and I'm watching this 10-year-old monk, and he's teaching a group of 5-year-old monks. So I'm eavesdropping, wondering what they're talking about, and I'm fascinated. And so after the class finishes, the 10-year-old monk, who's like this, and I said to him, "What are you teaching?" He said, "Well, that was their first day of monk school." And I said, "Oh, tell me what you taught them." And he said, "Well, what did you learn the first day of your school?" And I was like, "I think I learned the alphabet and counting from 1 to 10. So I said, "What did you teach?" He said, "I taught people how to breathe." He said, "The first thing you learn at monk school is learning how to breathe." And I said, "Come again, why?" And he said, "Because we're taught that the only thing that's there with you from the moment you're born to the moment you die is your breath. Your friends change, your family change, the country you live in changes, but your breath will be there for you." And he said, "When you get angry, what changes? Your breath. When you get sad, what changes? Your breath." So all of our greatest emotions in life are experienced through breath. So if we learn to manage and navigate our breath as a starting priority, then you'll never be fazed in life by any challenges that arise. And being aware of your breath and recognizing how the breath is literally the pillar, the central core of your physical and mental being. And I find today, you look at athletes, you look at musicians. If you look at a musician that plays wind instruments, they have to manage their breath. Athletes work on their breath.
When you're striving to become successful, you need to make sure that you are taking note of what the successful people are doing and what the rich people are doing, but also make sure you're noting what they aren't doing, because that can be equally as important to see what they are doing and what they aren't doing. Because once you figure out what that is, then you can learn so much from that. Because what they aren't doing is they aren't wasting their time. They're using every single second of every single day to the most of their advantage, because they don't want to waste time, because they are fully aware of how valuable their time is, because they're making so much money and pulling in so much information and knowledge every single day that their time is so valuable that they don't want to waste it. They're aware that that is one of the most important assets they have in this world. But now the real crazy thing is they all have 24 hours just like you and me, but it's all about how you use that time. They clearly don't waste their 24 hours. They get the most out of it, and they are fully aware that they know they need to make the most out of that time, because everybody's got the same playing field. Everybody's got 24 hours, but it's just truly vital about how you use that every single day. If you think you need more time, then make more time. Wake up earlier, stay up later, do something to give yourself more time in the day, because you need to make sure that you're working harder. So just use every single second to your advantage, and then you'll be firing on all cylinders.
As we get older, we're told there are finite numbers of how many kids get made onto the basketball or baseball teams. We're told there's a finite number of college spaces. We're told there's a finite number of how many tickets there are. We're told there's a finite number of people that are successful. Guess what? In the theater of happiness, there are infinite and unlimited seats. And there is a seat in the theater of dreams, but you think that because you think that there are only 100 people allowed in, that if someone else makes it before you, that you don't get in. And guess what? Is there a cap on how many billionaires there are in the world? No. Is there a cap on how many millionaires there are in the world? No. Is there a cap on how many happy people there are in the world? No. And that's why I really am encouraging Forbes. I want Forbes, forget printing a rich list, print a happy list, purpose list. Who is serving the most in the world? The dream that keeps you up at night is the real dream you should be chasing. But to chase that dream, to find that dream, to make that dream a reality, you need a strategy, right? A dream without a plan is just a wish, right? Without a strategy, without a guiding philosophy, without guiding principles, without actually creating a clear plan. Maybe you had one. I remember this economics teacher. He walked in to the classroom, and the first thing that he wrote on the board, he didn't even tell us his name. We didn't even know who he was. And he turned up, he went inside the classroom, and he wrote on the board, he said, "Failing to prepare is preparing to fail." And all of us just burst out laughing. This guy hadn't even told us his name yet. But on the board, he wrote, "Failing to prepare is preparing to fail." And now when I look back at that, and as I grew up and hopefully became a bit more mature than I was in high school, I remember thinking about that statement. I'm thinking, how true is that? That when you're not prepared for something, you miss out on unbelievable opportunities. Now, I'm not saying good things don't happen spontaneously. Sometimes things happen by chance, randomly, etc., with a reason. But when you're prepared, you can capitalize on things in a huge, huge way.
think the big thing is we all are looking for role models when we're growing up. Like, I feel like we all had someone we looked up to. And I was just fortunate, and I have to owe it to fortune and grace, that I was so fortunate that when I was 18, one of my role models became a monk. Because my role models were celebrities, CEOs, entrepreneurs, incredible people who were achieving a lot in the world. But when I met him, I got to meet someone who was truly happy. And I think we meet a lot of people who have a lot of money, who have a lot of success at a young age, but you rarely meet someone who's truly happy. And I think everyone who's listening right now or watching will be able to remember a time when they felt they met someone who is happy. And I'm sure that's a rare memory, but it exists.
Thank you all so much for watching this video. If you haven't already, please go ahead and like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and let us know what you thought down in the comment section below.